Hello friends, and welcome back to the Wooden Rune YouTube channel. My name is Emily and I am here today to start off the Clue 6 vlog for the Rujuu mystery knit along pattern that is designed and hosted by Jeanette Knits. And yeah, I'm just here to start off that vlog. I just filmed the little outro for my previous vlog and I just need to go ahead and film the next one. So yeah, here is where we are at so far. This is what we're looking at. I am really happy with how this is looking so far. I love how I've done this with the two colors of the people who've been in the Telegram group I'm in have been calling it the brick section. I love the two color aspect of it. I think it looks so fun. I kind of wish this one had been two color, but that's fine. I hadn't decided on that yet. So Clue 6 is all about the sleeves. And the sleeves are full color work. You basically just repeat the different charts that are in the body. You do that in the sleeves. And I'm not looking forward to it. I don't really want to. I would love to figure out some other way of knitting the sleeves, but I think at the end of the day it's going to look best to just stick with the colorwork charts and hope that I don't absolutely hate doing it. So my plan is I'm probably going to go ahead and try and pick up and do the neckline. I don't know. I say that. I think I'm actually just going to start one of the sleeves, because if I don't start one of the sleeves, I'm just going to procrastinate and not want to do it. I'm actually going to go ahead and put these stitches on the needle right now. And that way it's started and I don't have a choice. My needles are stuck in the sleeves. I can never take them out. So yeah, I'm not super looking forward to it because of the complexity of it. The way that Jeanette has designed this pattern is that you work like part way through the chart and then, you start working the chart and then at the side seams you like break off and you start in a different section of the chart after you do this like faux seam detail, which I don't know. Some people say they really like it. I don't love it because you can't even hardly see it. It's right here. This like purl stitch detail here. I have to like stretch the knitting apart to even see it. I'm not very keen on that. I wish that there had been a different or a better way of doing it. It has made the knitting process a bit more complicated because you're having to like stop and start midway through the chart. And I get it. Like there's only so many ways to make a chart work for a bunch of different sizes. I just wish there was another way. Or if there was a different chart, you could do a slightly different chart for each size, but I get it. That would make it really complicated. Like I understand why it is the way it is. I just wish there was a different way, because on the body it's one thing, but now on the sleeves we're having to deal with decreases and small circumference color work and all this stuff, and I just don't want to. I really don't. I'm having to make myself work on this part, and I'm not going to gripe and complain the whole time, I swear. So there we go. My stitches are on my needle. I am not sure. I'm pretty sure I might have to do some form of magic loop just because I don't have a small enough circumference cord, but we're going to see. We're going to see how it goes. The sleeves are pretty big. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't fully in-depth looked at the pattern yet. I just kind of glanced through it and was a little bit petrified. But hopefully it'll work out. I know that the way I'm thinking about doing it is because I'm doing it so scrappy and I'm planning to swap out my color C for each section. I think what I'm going to do is work one section on the first sleeve, pause, work the same section on the second sleeve, and that way hopefully when I'm done, you know, like when I finish the sleeves, that's it, like they're both done, and hopefully that will make it a little bit more manageable. I am going to have to be using a different color for the remainder of this purple chart on the sleeves, which is fine. This is overall scrappy, so I don't think it's going to look that weird. It might look a little weird, but that's okay. So I'm going to be using this one, and then I don't You know, I probably do have enough of the color A that I used. I only used about just over half the skein for this whole section of the color A, so I should have enough of the color A to finish both sleeves, I would think. We shall see. That might be a total mistake, but let me see, where is that one? There it is. Yeah, so it's this one, and this one is what I'm going to be working with first, and then I have the rest of this one, which is what I used for the first clue, which I'm kind of, not gonna lie, I am a little disappointed that the Clue 1 colorwork chart was not used again throughout the pattern, because this was my favorite. This was the one that I actually truly enjoyed. The rest of them I've had to like slog through, but this was the only one that I really, really enjoyed doing. And so I'm a little disappointed that that one only is used there. Like, it would have been fun to use it somewhere else, but that's fine. Maybe what I'll do is I'm expecting that I will need to do, so you finish off clue 3, then you work clue 4 chart, or chart 4, and then you work chart 5 on the sleeves. I am expecting I'm going to need another chart section to make the sleeves long enough. So what I may end up doing is I may just plug in chart 1 and just have that at the bottom of the sleeves. That could be really cute. We'll see when I get there. It might help me keep going and get the rest of this length done. But I have the rest of this, so in case I do that, I will probably save this for the very end, and then that would actually look really nice and kind of tie it all in together. So we will see what happens with that. I probably don't have enough of this one, which is what I used for chart 5. I probably don't have enough of this to do the sleeves, so that one's probably not going to get used. But I still have this one and this one, and just the tiniest bit of this one. So it's looking to me like my sleeves are going to be fairly dark, which is fine. It's not that big of a deal. So it looks like I'll probably do it in this order. So this would be the rest of chart 3. This will be chart 4. This will be chart 5. That'll be fine. They'll just be really purpley, dark, deep sleeves, which is, yeah, that'll be fine. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's what we're looking at. My husband has the kids. I'm expecting them home any minute now, but I might just go ahead and pull the pattern up and just look at it and maybe see if I can get the stitches picked up and to the point where I'm ready to start working a little bit on it. We shall see. Just watch. I'm going to sit down and like try to do that, and they're going to get home right in that second. But yeah, I'm really happy with my decision to use my color B fisherman's wool for the rib. I think it looks really, really good. I'm excited to do all of the edgings in this brown. I think it's going to look just perfect. I want to go back in and do the neckline, but I think I will save that as a breather. If I need a break from doing the sleeves, I can come back and do that. Yeah. I like it. I wish I had known ahead of time that it was going to be all over colorwork, because I absolutely would not have tackled it. Am I happy that I tackled it? Yes and no. I think when I get it done, I'll be glad to have it done. But I think at this point, this is more of a, what is it? Product knit rather than a process knit. Yeah, I can understand why Jeanette did not call it a yoke along. This is not a yoke along. This is a mystery sweater along. Anyway, let me try and decipher this pattern, and I will be back with any updates. Hello friends, I'm back for another little update. The sleeves are going more smoothly than I anticipated them. They're actually not that bad, which I'm quite grateful for, honestly. I was really worried they were going to be horrible, but I have gotten this far on the first sleeve. As you can see, I had to finish up that chart with the next color of purple, which this purple here, and then I moved on to this one, which is in the hyacinth colorway, and then I have just done the first row of the next bricks section on this sleeve, and then I paused and went back to this sleeve, which I have finished up. Oh, my lighting just got really sun behind the cloud. It is a frigid day today. We've had snow off and on this morning, like just big fluffy flakes, nothing really sticking, but it is cold. Anyway, I finished up the third chart, and then I have just started working on my first section of bricks. Words. So basically on this side, this section right here. And it's going pretty well. I haven't hated it, which I am glad of. Yeah, I think what I ended up deciding to do is I'm actually gonna, I did like the first couple of decreases, and then I tried it on, and then I was like, you know what, I don't really need to decrease the sleeve much because I want it to be able to go over top of things, and I don't want it to be too tight and bunch up my sleeves underneath and stuff. So I actually have decided I'm only doing the first 3 decreases and then just knitting the rest of the sleeve straight. And then I'm still going back and forth on whether or not I want to do like a rapid decrease right before the cuff. I'm not sure, because I don't necessarily really want a balloon sleeve, but I also like, on this one, this is the stick season jacket that I knit for my husband a couple years ago. These cuffs are too open and loose for me, and so they like flop around, and when I shove it up, it doesn't stay. So I'm expecting I will probably do a round of rapid decrease and then do the cuff, most likely. That's what I'm anticipating. But the one other thing that I have decided to do, or at least give it a try, I have a sick 3-year-old. He's got a pretty bad cough, and he's wanting to get up from his nap time to watch his dino train video. So I'm trying to film this quickly, but I heard him, so I might have to pause and get him, but we'll see. The one thing I am realizing is that these colors are all that I have left for my color C. And, well, I used this one. This is the hyacinth for the chart number 4. So I still have chart number 5, which is this one, at least. I'm wondering, anticipating that I'm going to have to do something else before the cuff. I wouldn't mind if I did chart A right at the bottom to add a couple more inches before the cuff, but we'll see when we get there. However, if I went to this for my color C next, it's also very dark, and like you can tell the difference when you look at them like this, but in person I think it's gonna look funny if the entire sleeves are all in like dark colors. As I figured, toddler interruption. As I was saying, my worry is if I work the entire sleeves all in these really dark yarns, it's going to look a little bit funny compared to the body that has these teal, paler sections in it. So, one option that I'm contemplating, one option is to just work it with the dark yarns and just go with it and see what happens. That is definitely one option. Just pair this probably with... probably have enough of this fisherman's wool to do Clue 5 on both sleeves. Just to pair these together and just see how it goes. Because Clue 5 definitely has a more of the color C instead of the color A. And so it would probably look similar to if... I don't even know if there's any point in trying to do this, but... from there into there. So I don't think that that would be super ideal, but totally an option. The other thing is, and I think this is the one that I'm going to give a try, and I'm still thinking about it, so I'm going to think about it while I work the chart 4 on the other sleeve. So I'm just about to start the chart 4, or technically I am starting chart 4 because I'm doing the brick section, which is part of chart 4. But I'm going to do the actual colorwork section, this piece on this sleeve, and then make a decision. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm alternating back and forth between the sleeves. So I ended up... let me finish what I was saying with color. I have 2 skeins of Knit Picks palette in the, what is it, Wonderland Heather colorway. And I'm considering holding this triple for the Clue 5 section of the sleeve. And that would kind of give me a tealy blue option similar to like these for in the sleeves. That is what I am seriously considering, and will at the very least probably try, because I think that that's going to look better than to just have full dark sleeves. And I can hold it with this one and just do that. And then if I do end up needing to do Clue 1 again, I can either do it again in this Solstice Heather colorway, or I can use my other purple, which is Indigo Heather, and do the Clue 1 before the ribbing. I went ahead and recaked this because normally it comes in like little ball things. I recaked both of them so I could easily hold it triple by holding 2 strands from one ball, one from the inside, one from the outside, and then the 3rd strand from the other ball. This was some yarn that I was gifted in a swap that I did with Stephanie from Textures Peach Knits 2 years ago, I think. I think it was 2 years ago because we were living in this house when we did that. Yeah, that is what I'm pretty seriously considering doing. Now, what I was saying is that for the sleeves, what I did is I picked up and finished up chart 3, and then I worked the first bricks piece in the purple here, this piece, and then I paused and went back and worked the remainder of chart 3, and I am starting the, yeah, that's what I did. I worked the rest of chart 3, and then I paused and went back, and it sounds a little confusing when you do it, but no, that's what I did. I worked the rest of chart 3 and the entirety of the brick section so that I could take this color B over to this side. And I had already worked the rest of chart 3, and so now I came back, worked the rest of chart 4 on this side, and I want to work chart 4 on this side. And then as you can see, I did the first bit of the brick section so that I could be done using this blue, the Hyacinth colorway, done with that on this side so that I can just carry right on into doing that on this one. Hopefully that made sense. I'm just working them in conjunction with one another, back and forth, so that when I'm done, I am done. Yeah. And then the other thing that has been really helping with this is I was working it with the same long circular needle that I had been using for the entirety of the rest of the cardigan, but recently it was gifted. I would say it was gifted. There is a knitter in the knitting groups that was destashing a couple sets of some Addie knitting needles, and she was just asking anybody who wanted them could have them as long as they paid shipping. So I paid shipping for them, which obviously is way less than what the actual cost of the needles were. And so in that, there was a set of short tips and cables and a set of regular tips and cables. And that has saved my life with this sweater. So I switched to those. I don't know, this is probably like a 12 or 16 inch or something thing with the tips. And yeah, that has been working out beautifully. I have always thought that I did not like short circumferences, but I'm realizing now that it's because of the needle tips. The only other short circulars I have are some Leica needles, and their tips are so short, so short. I think these ones must be like 3-inch tips or something. Maybe they're probably 3-inch, and they're totally fine. Like I can very comfortably work with these. So that has been a lifesaver. It has been so nice. So yeah, that's kind of the update that I have now. I've chatted on enough about this. I want to sit down and actually work on it for a little bit before the 18-month-old gets up. I can't work on this around him. I can work on it around my 3-year-old because he kind of sits and leaves me alone. That is not the case for the 18-month-old. He wants to dig through my giant bag of yarn and all that jazz. So that's the update. I'm not hating these as much as I anticipated, and I think that is largely due to the needles, that they have been really making it a much smoother process. And it also helped that because I decided to only do the first 3 decreases, now I do not have to worry about decreases for the rest of the sleeve, at least until I get to the end. And so that is like one aspect of this that I was very nervous about, was doing the decreases while trying to do color work and everything else. And I'm not even thinking about it. So, super pleased with that, super happy with how it's coming out. I am pretty heavily leaning towards using this, just because I think otherwise it's just gonna look funny if I just have dark sleeves for the rest of it. I don't know, because part of me is torn, because I would like to just keep using all of the wool of the Andes yarn. Like, I have realized that what I should have done is, instead of doing this for this one, I probably should have done this hyacinth color here and saved the teal for the sleeves to kind of try and bring it together more, but it's fine. The whole thing is scrappy, like, come on. But yeah, it's coming along, and I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it more than I thought I was. I was getting pretty fed up with this, and I was not pleased when Clue 6 came out, but it has been going smoothly and okay, and I can live with it. So that's my update for now. Hello friends, welcome back. It is now April. I am pulling my Rujuu out of the bag for the first time in probably like 6 weeks. I don't think I touched this at all in March. And oh man, this thing is just, whew. I have a feeling this is going to be warm to work on. I am still working on Clue 6, which is the sleeves. As you can see, here's one sleeve, and I am currently working on the second one. The way that I have done this is I have worked one section on one sleeve, paused, done the section on another sleeve, pause, go back to the first sleeve, work the next section, second sleeve, first sleeve, second sleeve, first sleeve, because I had a feeling that if I didn't do it that way, that it was going to take me forever and it might not happen. So that's why I have done it. Here is where we're at so far on the first sleeve. And then I have paused here because I'm going to get the second sleeve up to this point, and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to pick up the neckline, and that's going to bring all of this in a bit. And then I'm going to try it on and see how much more I need for the sleeves. So right now I am working on that this colorwork chart for this part. I'm like 4 rows in out of, I think it's like 17 rows. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't remember if I mentioned this before. I started doing some decreases, but then I found that I was really struggling to do any fewer stitches with the needles that I have. And I was like, you know what? This is supposed to be like a coat, jacket sort of a thing. So if it has some extra space in the sleeves to go over like puffy sleeves like that, that's not going to be a bad thing. So I actually just stopped doing decreases. I think I did 3 decreases on each sleeve and was like, good enough. So that is where we are at with this. And oh, my goodness, this is going to be so hot. I'm a little warm right now. It's quite a warm day outside. I've got the windows open right now. Probably gonna have to close them and turn the air conditioning on in a little bit, but the thought of wearing this right now is quite unappealing. But yes, so depending, my plan is, since I have done, you can see here, I have done the same amount of colorwork charts for the sleeve as I have done for the body. My plan is, because I'm very over, and to be fair, I haven't worked on this for a while, so it might not be as onerous, how do you pronounce that word? A task as it was previously when there was just unending color work. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of over those charts. So my plan is that if I need some more room, I'm going to add in this color work chart here to the bottom of each sleeve, because as you can see, this adds about if I did all of that, that's like 2 inches? We'll call it 2 inches. And so I will do that in the same color, the same color C. This blue, I think it's in here. It is Solstice Heather. That same blue at the end of each sleeve, and then potentially do like one more brick section at the bottom before the ribbing. We'll see. I'm not sure how much extra length I'm gonna need. I think I'm gonna need more because right now the sleeves are right about the same length as the body, and my arms are longer than my torso. So I know I'm gonna need some more length. But yeah, that's kind of the update for this. I have not paused and updated it at all. I was honestly just really trying to get some progress done and get this thing done. And then my kids got sick and I didn't touch it for weeks and weeks on end. So we'll see. I just today finished and wove in all the ends on my last test net that I have at the moment. And so I am feeling an immense sense of freedom, and I would love it if I could get this done in April and just check it off the list and be done and dusted. We shall see if that happens. But I'm hoping it will, because I want to steek it, and I'm not going to let myself steek it until I have like the neckband and the sleeves done, because that would be cheating. And that would be doing the fun part before I get over the slog part. So there we go. That's the update for now. I will update when I have more progress done on this. Okay, a little bit of a Rujuu update. Got my big old tote bag here. I have a collar. I added the collar on. I finished it up and got it bound off last night. It's caught up in all my threads because I've started doing the colorwork section on one of the sleeves. But I have a collar and it looks really good. I did end up deciding to go ahead and do the double folded collar like the pattern called for. And yeah, it's looking good. I think it's really nice. I'm quite excited to get some button bands on here. I think I am just going to stick with doing buttons rather than a zipper. I've gone back and forth, but I'm also a little torn because part of me thinks this needs some pockets. And I do not want to do colorwork pockets. So maybe if I did like just a brown, I don't know, with how long it is and stuff, I feel like I need a pocket like right here. Right now, I have picked up the stitches on one of the sleeves and I am working on adding in the first chart at the bottom here, because when I tried it on, I needed like a little bit more and then a cuff and it'll be great. And it is really funny to me, like you can't see too much yet, but my colorwork has definitely improved and that's really satisfying. I didn't notice it so clearly until I started doing this. Like, okay, this is where it was back at the beginning. First bit of color work here, and you can kind of see that it just looks a little, I don't even know, like my stitches are kind of uneven, and I'm hopeful that some of that will even out in blocking. But then look at this, like just this little bit. Like, it looks so much more crisp and even than this. I had no idea that I had kind of improved that much. And part of it is, I do wonder if some of it is that I'm doing this small circumference. I don't know if that would make a difference. But it is really satisfying to see that it appears that I have improved in color work. So yeah, that's kind of fun. Don't really have much else to say as far as an update. I'm really pleased to have the collar in. It definitely pulled things in a bit at the neckline, which is really nice. I don't really feel like it shortened it or pulled it up all that much. It's still quite long, but I don't know, part of me is a little scared. I'm like never gonna wear this after all the work that I've put into it, because this has been a beast of a project with so much color work in it. But then the other part of me is like, well, it'll be a nice cozy thing to throw on in the fall and winter when it's chilly, and I do think if I have pockets on it, I'll be more inclined to wear it. So I'm considering maybe just doing like some squares of the, you know what would be really cute? Is if I did the pockets but did it like a bunch of these brick sections. I don't know if I'm gonna have the desire to do that. Because the other option I was thinking, if I did a pocket, I just had the thought that technically I could just do a square of like 2x2 ribbing and then sew it on. Like, I'm not planning to do any sort of like pre-attach. I would just do a square of knit fabric. But yeah, we're getting there. The end is in sight. I'm so close to being done with the color work for this project and cannot wait. And this color work, the chart 1 color work from the Rujuu was honestly my favorite color work chart of the whole thing. Because it was simple and easy and quick. And yeah, I really actually enjoyed chart 1, and then the rest of the charts were a little bit, yeah. So I'm gonna get back to knitting. It's about time for me to get my 3-year-old up from his nap, so I just want to do a little bit more. This is also really hot to work with, and having it, it's like this giant, thick, fully wool, like cardigan jacket sweater. It's like a blanket sitting on my lap, and I was like, man, this is why I should have finished this in February. It's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna do some more color work. Well, friends, just finished filming a knitting podcast episode and wanted to go ahead and give you another update on my Rujuu. I have officially finished all of the color work for this cardigan, and I could not be happier. So here's where we're at. There's the collar. There's the first sleeve. I left the needles on because I wasn't sure if I needed to go a little bit more on the ribbing, but then I went and picked up this side and it's all done. Ta-da! Oh, I'm so glad to be done. I ended up, I think I mentioned before, maybe in this vlog, maybe in a previous one, that I didn't do all of the sleeve decreases called for in the pattern. So what I ended up doing is I did do a rapid decrease here at the bottom before I worked the cuff, because I do want it to be closer fitting around my wrist. And I wasn't sure if that was going to look okay or not, so that's part of why I left the needles on here in case I wanted to rip it out. But I tried it on last night. I'm not going to try it on right now because this thing is warm. And I'm a little warm right now because I've been talking and filming and stuff. So yeah, I think it looks fine. I think it looks perfectly acceptable. I think technically I could go a little further on the ribbing if I wanted to. And I've been debating on whether or not I want to do it long enough that I could fold over the ribbing, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if I want to do that. Technically it is still like a little short. Let me see if I can kind of just show you this a little bit. If I pull it down, because the problem is this isn't super wash wool, so I don't think it's going to stretch all that much. So like that's kind of where it is. Like, I think I could, you know what, when I'm blocking it, I can just pull the sleeve down a little. That's what I'm going to do. So I think that that's fine. I think that that'll be all good. So I need to bind that off and then pick up on this side, work the decreases and do the cuff. And then all that we have left is the button bands and steeking, which is so cool. We're so close to being done. But yeah, so that's my little update on this for now. I'm going to try and get that other cuff done, and then we will need to wrap up this vlog so I can start the last and final vlog for this series. Yeah, that's all I've got for now. Alrighty friends, it is time to film the outro for Clue 6 of the Rujuu Mystery Knit Along knitting pattern. I have officially finished 2 sleeves. Huzzah! I'm done with the color work. I'm done with what I would consider the worst part of this sweater. I'm actually going to try it on and show it to you. I'll probably have to film some B-roll and whatnot, but let's see how this is looking. Oh, my word, this thing is going to be so cozy. To be honest, it doesn't feel terribly overly warm today because it's kind of chilly outside, and so this is actually really quite snuggly. And you saw clearly I'm wearing another sweater underneath, so this is going to be great. But yeah, there we go. There's my Rujuu. Like I said, I'll try and get some pictures or video or whatever and put it up here so you can see the full length of it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. There's my double folded over collar. And yeah, that's it. I here's my Clue 1 colorwork that I put on there. Super happy with that. And now I have like a million ends to weave in. This is gonna be, that's gonna be like a long process. I will honestly, well, I need to do it before I do any sort of steeking, so that'll probably be my next step. The first step for Clue 7 will be weaving in all the ends. But yeah, we'll get in there. It's getting closer. I don't know if I'm going to get it steeked and the button bands picked up and everything, or button bands picked up and then steeked in April or not. My husband just left to go on a work trip, so he's going to be gone all this week, and this is like the first time I'm going to be solo parenting for that long. And so I have no idea what this week is going to look like, but hopefully there might still be some time to work on more complicated projects like this. But yeah, I feel pretty happy with it. I'm really excited to block it and like see what happens with that. I think that is all that I have to say on this for now. The next clue should be all about weaving in ends, button bands, steeking, and then my final kind of wrap-up thoughts on the pattern overall, what I think of the design, what I think of the knitting experience, what I think of the finished garment, all those fun things. So, like I said, no idea when that vlog will be coming out, but I will probably start filming that. Probably not today. I don't really feel like working on this today. I just kind of want a chill day, and I've got a couple of emails to answer and some knitting to do and podcasts to watch during nap time, so I'm just gonna chill and relax and all that fun stuff. But thank you for following along with my Rujuu knitting journey this far. I hope you've enjoyed. If this is your first video that you have been watching, check out the rest of the playlist. I'll have it linked down below. And yeah, happy knitting, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!